Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of Diablo 3. You may notice that our PARAGON level has moved on a fair bit. I recorded a full hour-long episode just a moment ago, and unfortunately OBS decided to just capture the opening screen and didn't actually do any updates, which is a real shame. So to update you on what we did, in fact let's jump into game. We nearly died a couple of times, because we did a lot of very fun things, and I am gutted that you guys are not going to get to see it. So, we did Torment 10 Rift in 6 minutes. That was relatively straightforward. We went and fought all the Key Wardens again, and then went through to the various realms. That was the first thing we did, so we were quite underleveled at the time. Very dangerous, probably the dumbest thing that we've done so far. We went to kill Gom, we went to kill Azmodan, and then we've been working just through rifts since then. We have Natalya's reflection now. That's great. So between Natalya's head, Natalya's reflection, Natalya's bow, where is it? There it is. And the cloak, we've got 4 bits of Natalya set. We still need a 5th piece. We still haven't found Bane of the Trapped or Zai's Stone of Vengeance, which are the 2 other bits that we need. We still haven't found a decent amulet. I mean, there's been a couple of contenders, but none of them do the damage that we get from cold damage, so it's really just not been worth us switching across. We're still using Enforcer. We've got that up to rank 37 because we haven't had anything else to upgrade. And yeah, that's pretty much where we are. We're going to be rifting. Let's just make... yeah, that looks like it's recording correctly. It's so hard to tell if it's actually going to behave or not. So apologies that you've missed the last hour. Not a huge amount has progressed forwards other than just ticking off bits. And of course, like, we're terrifying ourselves with everything. When we got Natalya's ring, we spent all of our death's breaths doing upgrades to try and get... well, actually, yeah, we spent our death's breaths trying to get the ring upgrades, and then we found the ring. So that was kind of funny and ironic in a way. Smack through all of these. So really, the more death's breaths we get, the better. We can try and do other upgrades. I think we'll probably go for the shoulders, trying to get that for Natalya's. But if we find any other piece, then we'll be in a position to... Is that Natalya's or is that Danetta's? It's Danetta's. If it was Natalya's, we could have re-rolled it into a different bit of Natalya's set. So we would have only needed 10 death's breaths to do that, and then we could have switched across properly. As it is, we're still on the hunt. The other thing, we've managed to push ourselves up to PARAGON level 213, so we're no longer working on resource cost reduction, or the, let's get these down, or the initial increased resistances. We're onto our secondary things, which is going to be stuff like area damage, because we love area damage, increased armor because life will come later, and we are getting maximum hatred for the first panel rather than going straight into dexterity. I'm always in 2 minds about that, but we are using a lot of hatred, so it will definitely help us out. Oh yeah, look at all that. Yeah, running through and doing the rift in 6 minutes was actually quite difficult because we didn't get a brilliant drop rate for elite spawning in. Felt like the random number generator wasn't looking to help us out at all. which is fine. I mean, you do get good ones and bad ones, but we probably, when we completed it, we did it like with just a couple of seconds to spare. There wouldn't be much in it. But this one is already going much faster. I can feel it. Although there is a hell of a lot of poison everywhere. Ow! A hell of a lot of poison. Jeez, as soon as our damage reduction goes off, we get really hit with that, don't we? So at this point, I should stop moving around and just wait for the awareness to come back. Exactly as she said. We're not going to do that. We are going to progress carefully forwards. Let me just stop my face itching. Because as long as we're careful with what we do, then there shouldn't be any problems, should there? Hopefully not, anyway. Well, we've managed to progress slowly for long enough that our awareness is back. So, panic over. Not that it was really a panic. I mean, I always said that playing this character class, it's kind of like controlled chaos. Sometimes it works in your favour, sometimes it doesn't. You just kind of have to work with what you've got going. And then try and make that into something usable. Let's throw some fish over there. We need to get in the habit of getting a lot of fish out. Because we're going to, when we switch across to Natalya's, it's going to be vital for the way we play. Not dead yet. Right, well, let's grab these.
My hatred is too low.
Well, it's shut in there with my turrets, so it's gonna die at some point. Set amulet. That might be the Traveler's Pledge. Let's head back and see what we've got. We'll hand this in, of course. It might be Blackthorn's Duncraig Cross, which would be terrible, but the Traveler's Pledge, great. Let's start using that right now. Oh, look at that. That's a huge damage increase. That's amazing. That is beautiful. Oh, we can re-roll that attack speed into a socket. Down here, we've got Deneth's Spite already, so this one can get salvaged up. Ice Climbers, we've already got one. They can get salvaged up. Strong Arm Braces, those are new. So page 2, put them in there. And let's go talk to Kadala about shoulders briefly.
Hello there. Don't forget, that is too expensive.
Slightly better Marauder Spines. That's actually got resource cost reduction and cooldown. Alright, so we're not going to gamble for Marauders anymore. We'll try gambling for something else. and use that for Natalya's swap over. Maybe the boots. Or the trousers. I don't know. I mean, it's a tough call. Ah, well. Suffice to say, we've improved ever so slightly. So it's good. It's good for us. 21 Death's Breaths isn't enough to do anything. So let's hop in and we'll do a Greater Rift. Keeping it Torment 10. Although, who knows. Jeez, this is already painful. Back. Yeah. I needed to get my turrets out a lot faster. So this is going to be a slow start for the Greater Rift. I mean, they say that the entry area is nice. Well, it's supposed to be safe. But in reality, it's not. You can step a tiny distance and be in trouble. In the meantime, I can delete some things and, well, let's answer a Google survey. I have visited none of those places. Good job, Google Opinion Rewards. I'm sure it'll figure out what's going on in a bit. Okay, 15 seconds left. Obviously, we can't change any of our equipment. We can't look at our skills. So there's not a great deal we can do while this is counting down, unfortunately. Can't even change his stuff over. What I will do with his stuff is later on. There we go. Later on, we'll get ourselves a level 1 strength-based character, maybe a Crusader. And we'll use that for actually reforging the items rather than just re-rolling the dexterity into strength or anything like that. Because that way we'll have it with strength as the default item, default options. Oh yes, we found Oculus last time, which is where you can see the occasional things appearing. Yeah, so if I reforge it with a strength-based character, it will by default have strength as the attribute on it. So we won't need to waste Death's Breath re-rolling that, and we'll have another useful enchantment. 217. Yeah, it's a slow start, but it's not a slow run. Deceptively quiet down this bit. Oh, cool, we've got an elite. Let's throw some fish on him. I really need to be throwing more fish around. It's a real shame that the video didn't record, because I could put the entire thing up as just effectively an audio element, and you'll hear me like wandering around, killing stuff, and nattering to myself. But it's just not the same as seeing how tense the situations get. So one thing I've noticed is occasionally the Oculus ring can overlap with the triune ring, and I do believe that they stack. So there's definitely opportunity there. It's a shame that the Oculus ring doesn't get its own little symbol. That would be nice if it actually did that, because they implemented it for the triune rings to show that you're in the area. So it seems like it would be, or would have been, logical to just, you know, step that little step further and do the same for an existing very similar mechanic. I mean, there's probably reasons why it wasn't done, even if that reason is no one thought of it or there wasn't time. But it would be nice if they did that in the future. Although probably they, channeling, yeah. Probably they only added it in for the 3 so that you could distinguish between them, and you could mouse over and find out what the effect was. So kind of educationally, as much as anything. Danger of the channeling pylon is it makes me want to rush forwards when we don't have the damage reduction to just get into the middle of everything and then face tank it. So it encourages me to play more recklessly than I need to. And I already play recklessly. Okay, it's nearly Rift Guardian time, so let's try and save our Sentry charges. This guy. 1, 2, 3. Get some fish in on this fight. And bang. Hand crossbow, gloves, ring, another hand crossbow. Please be a useful hand crossbow. If that's Natalya's, we can re-roll it. So, there is always that. What's this? This is 80%. It's still worth me putting it in. Level 40. So the sentries aren't going to take 90% less damage. Just because they're sentries, that's not how it works. But they do still benefit from the extra damage that's going out from that gem. Alright, let's put our points in. So critical hit chance over here. Maximum hatred over here. Armor. And area damage. Okay, so it's Danetta's Revenge. That's going to go with Danetta's Spite. We're not going to do that. A different convention of elements, okay. That can go over here. Dawn, I like Dawn. Dawn is nice. That's going over here. And Marauder's Gloves. These are slightly better for survivability. Slightly worse for damage. Damage isn't really an issue for us, but 10% like toughness is pretty damn significant. So let's do that for the moment. And I'll put these in here. Look at how many Marauders helmets we got last time. So Eye of Elish is going to go Ice Blink. Ice Blink would be nice if it did like a little bit extra. Extra slowing doesn't really help us. And also it's limited in how high it can get. But 10% increased chance to be critically hit can be quite huge. Right. Kadana, let's talk about boots. That's what we were going to do.
My father would be proud of you. I cannot afford that.
Shadow's Heals. We've already got Shadow's Heals. Now we have 2 sets of Shadow's Heals. Iron Tone Mud Splitters we've already got as well. So those are just going to get salvaged up. And then we'll jump back in for another rift. Gone, gone. I suppose that's something that I could do. Is do some gem upgrades. Because these do need to be sorted out. And while we've got a little bit of money, otherwise I'll get distracted and just end up spending it on the rifts. That gives us 5, which is enough to fill these out. Yeah, let's keep it at that for now. Could have also unintentionally brought that one out, but I think it's doing a good enough job as it is. The other thing that I did was I swapped over for the Shard of Hate in the cube. We still don't have Manticore. When we get that, that's going to go in. But in the meantime, everything we're doing is shooting out those little frozen skulls for a little bit of damage, which is nice. I like that. Okay, pretty good start. Keeping in control of resources, although we're about to gain a level, so... Let's let that go for a moment. Fish! Fish from off-screen. Yeah, everything needs hatred. That's why we're increasing our maximum hatred a little bit at a time. And all of this that we're doing is still just with that Wraps of Clarity damage reduction. We don't have anything else helping us out, which is why I'm trying to keep away from all the mobs. Especially those ranged succubi. We do not like those succubi bolts. A not so mighty adversary is in front of us. Yes, another level. Is this straight on? Alright, straight on up. Halfway through the rift. Now at the moment we're getting increased damage based on the number of sentries out. That's not going to happen when we switch over to Natalya stuff. Instead we're just going to get a flat bonus based on the number, so based on our casting Vengeance, and then for a while afterwards. So it's going to be very much shifting things across from inconsistent, you know, based on how many things we've got out, to a more consistent. As long as we're doing Vengeance, then everything stays the same, and I think that's going to be much better for us. Shield Pilot, great. Let's find somewhere to cause some trouble. Yeah, cool. Half the shield is still left. We are out of discipline for rolling around though. Alright, I think we're going up and that way. We really needed more elite mobs to be fighting while that was on. Oh well. It's gone, so back to being cautious. %, very nearly Rift Guardian time. Okay, Rift Guardian is here. And all that hammering. All that hammering. Look at all this. We did get our first potion in the Lost episode as well. Right, pain enhancer we don't care about. So we've got bottomless potion, the unfettered. Useful for being able to like keep out of the way of everything, but we're not really utilizing it that well because we've already got Vault. 1, 2. Alright, it's a tiny bit more. Tiny bit more. I could start putting more into Bane of the Powerful in preparation for Countersense Despair. I might start doing that now, actually. But in the meantime, let's get some IDing going. Area damage goes up. As does all of these. So, Rondell's Locket. That's not great. Bottomless Potion of the Leech? Sure. We'll swap that over. Over here, Thunder Fury goes in, St. Archie's goes in. That we're just going to salvage. That we're going to salvage. And Rondell's Locket we're going to salvage. Let's get a socket in the Traveller's Pledge before I forget. And end up spending all of our death breaths. So what are we going to roll into a socket? Probably attack speed. I think that's going to be the best. It's not being good to us. Oh, come on. Right, we're out of Imperial Topazes, so let's get some of those upgraded. There we go. Finally got the socket. So we may as well use another legendary gem just for the moment. What is going to be the best or most amusing one? Well, we're using Evasive Fire quite a bit, so this could work. We could just get more gold. Yeah, let's use Boon of the Hoarder. And I will be very, very happy with that. And we'll just start pumping Boon of the Hoarder, actually. Rather than Bane of the Powerful. Let's get our money on. Okay, boots, 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 Kadala. Let's talk about boots, baby. Let's talk about how much you disappoint me. It's quite a lot. It's quite a lot. How are we doing for 0 Greater Rift Keystones? So let's hop on in and do another regular rift. It'll give us a chance to get more death threats. So it's all gravy.
Not enough hatred.
Hey, Mr. Bloodshard Goblin. Don't run away. I really want everything you have. We'll spend them when we get back. And I won't take time out to go and do that now. If there was a chance it might be something that we would use by IDing an item, then we could have just like stopped and done it. But for blood shards, yeah, they'll be waiting when we're ready. Another ring? That could be the Compass Rose. If that is, that's going to be amazing. And another cloak. That is just salvage fodder. Down here we're going to get that bit of extra experience. I'm definitely feeling like we're getting more money. Boon of the Hoarder does make... Oh, that was something. Didn't actually see what it was. So it'll be a bit of a mystery. Ooh, more plans, more death breaths. I'm liking this rift. This rift is being surprisingly generous with us. Let's get some fish over there. And another ring. So all of these things, of course, are going to get turned into Forgotten Souls, which we can use for reforging items. They're not going to go to waste. We're going to need to do quite a lot across the course of the season. Ooh, cool. Hand crossbow. I forget off the top of my head what type of bow Manticore is. I think it's just a regular crossbow rather than a hand crossbow. Well, get some more then. Backing out of that. Only one death's breath, but huge number of uniques coming, well, legendaries coming in.
I can't do that.
Okay, he's gone. His friends are, yeah, also eliminated. Great. Another goblin. This place is riddled with them. Yeah, gem one. Okay, well, that's going to replace all the gems that we just went through and did upgrades on. Alright, there's still a little bit left up in the top right corner. Let's go across and see if we can't get something useful out of this bit. Ow. Yep, definitely worth coming up. And I think that's going to be it as we round this corner. Alright, let's head on to the next area. Zoom, 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 zoom. Into the Magistrate's Prison, level 4. Okay, Rift Guardian is out. Oh dear. Ow! Kill it before it wakes up. Got a little bit too close there. Let's get all of these that we can, and then we'll just head straight back to town. And jeez, look at all that. It's loads. Let's get some IDs going. So we have a better Natalya's ring. We need to re-roll that armor on it into vitality. But that is awesome. Let's make some space. You can learn this. We're gonna get rid of that elusive ring. We're gonna get rid of Dawn. We're gonna get rid of Carly's Point. We've already got 2 of them. Those 3 are new. Strong embraces, we've already got some. Okay, so Miriam, this armor, could we change it into something else, please? 621 vitality. Big change. I think that's a better trade-off. So yeah, let's do that. Shen, please take this out, and we'll put that in over there. Right, so we actually have an Natalya's ring that we could re-roll. This could be the point where we end up changing. Where is it? Convert set item. Trousers, I'll take it. I will take it. So we're changing. It is time. Trousers are in. The top is in. And the weapon is in. Okay. We're now going to get all the benefits of this, and we've still got most of the benefits of the Maurauder set. We are doing less damage with Natalya's Slayer. I'm going to re-roll that life per hit into a socket so we can at least mitigate some of it. But yeah, Rain of Vengeance is going to be reduced every time we do shooting. You know, it's pretty much straightforward. Every time we do anything, it reduces the cooldown. Rain of Vengeance is doing extra damage, that's nice. After casting Rain of Vengeance, we do more damage, and that's across the board. That's even going to be our sentries. And take 60% reduced damage. That's going to be the key bit of this. And this is very much a change for us. So it might take me a while to find my feet. I'm going to say that right now. Let's go life per hit. I really want it to have a socket without me having to use a Ram Lama Ding Dong on it. There we go, that'll do for now. Let's get the gem back. So the difference between it, we're losing 15% damage, we're losing 13% toughness. It does feel like quite a lot, but it's going to be fine. Take these out, put them in. Take these out, put them in. Okay, what else could we potentially re-roll to make these better now? Because this is the point where we can actually transition across to looking at the different things and saying, strafe, we're not using strafe. Let's change that. We're not using elemental arrow, we're using cluster arrow. So for the moment, there we go, cluster arrow, 12%. Great. Up here, grenade damage, we're not using grenade. So that'd be better switching it for vitality. Awesome. Up here. Hatred regen, do we really need it, or would we Would we be better with sentry damage? We would be better with sentry damage. Sentry damage 14%. Bam! Up here, impale damage. Nope. Cluster arrow damage 15%. Bam! I'm quite happy with what's on this. We could potentially get cooldown a little bit better. Or change cooldown into sentry damage. Cooldown can go to 8. Sentry damage can crop up. We'll see what it gives us. Or area damage. What have we got for area damage? 8%. No, we'll keep the cooldown for the moment on that. Cooldown to 8%. That's acceptable. Over here, again, I'm happy with the rolls that this has got. Thorns isn't going to change into anything useful. Maybe stun per hit, but not really caring.
Surely there is someone out there who would benefit from our aid right now.
What's our critical chance? 33%. You know what, I'm going to say that's acceptable for what we've got. I'm happy with the way we've made that work for now. So we still need to sort the convention of elements out. That's going to happen at some point. Where's Marauders? So Marauders trousers, come in. Marauders chest. Over here. Just in case we ever do a Legacy of Nightmares thing, that can go in there. H2 for Black Feather, Cape of Night, Gladiator Gauntlets also across here. This is going to feel really weird. So, Gambling Belts is the next thing for Zoe's Secret. Or try to get Manticore, but I think getting Manticore we're going to want to do upgrades to do that. So, belts.
What a steal. Well, isn't that nice?
Zoe's Secret does have less chance
That is too expensive.
compared to the other ones to appear. But we can just keep gambling over time. So, Vigilante Belt. Goodbye. I'm sorry. You're just not going to be as useful for us. We need to carry on getting gems. So into a Torment 10, we cannot afford to empower this. This is going to be new.
Are you strong enough to survive the trial?
So remember, Reign of Vengeance is pretty much what's going to be keeping us going. And it superpowers what we do. So I'm going to want to keep putting it out. This feels so crazy. This is a hell of a lot more hectic. I mean, I can tell we're a lot more survivable. The damage isn't coming from the Reign of Vengeance, remember that. It's coming from the turrets. But yeah, 10 seconds of like super damage, super awesome power every time Rain of Vengeance goes off. This is our life now. Wow. It feels like it takes a lot more concentration though. Because I've got that much more that I need to worry about. I don't need to worry specifically about the turrets, because I mean they'll come when they come. But keeping things being damaged enough that I can keep that Rain of Vengeance up permanently. Okay, that's going to help me relax a little bit. This doesn't actually feel bad at all. I am honestly surprised. And once you get in the swing of it, obviously the shield pylon does help me relax a little, but and it doesn't even matter what the Rain of Vengeance hits, because that's not the point of the Rain of Vengeance. Hell yeah. Hell to the yes. Okay, Molten Wildebeest Gizzard. Still not what we want. Still not what we care about. So we're going to keep pushing Boon of the Hoarder. That's our new baby.
I am returning to town.
Kadala, let's have a chat about belts quickly before I go and salvage everything up. No. I was a little bit hopeful. Maximum hatred, critical hit chance, armor, and area damage. An ancient Blackthorn circuit. Demon's Demise is new. Everything else can go. Page 2. Across you go. Molten Wildebeest Gizzard. I can sit in there. And let's jump in for another rift.
Prove yourself worthy.
Nope, nothing up that way. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot more consistent.
I'm still waiting. Not enough discipline.
Now at the moment I'm mostly using evasive fire to bring it back, but I could just as easily be using cluster arrow to bring Rain of Vengeance back down. Let's get those. Oh my god, we are moving so quick. Channeling. This is so crazy. Channeling's off, but it doesn't actually increase our speed by as much as it used to. That's the crazy thing about this build. Oh, they're all shielded. Well, doesn't really help them that much, actually. That's a lot of things for us to get there. Let's grab all of them. I'm so happy about that. Mutilation Guard, we don't care. So this is all going in Boon of the Hoarder. That looks like Mage Fist.
I am returning to town.
Hand that in. We'll do our IDing. Put our points in. Witching Arrow. Blah. Shard of Fate we've already got. Wraps of Clarity. These are slightly worse because of the damage reduction. Mage Fist. Pinto's Pride. Okay. So from these we're going to save Mage Fist. And that's it. Everything else is getting salvaged up. Before we do that, let's go talk to Kadala about belts.
Fate smiles on you today. What a steal. That is too expensive.
Thunder Gods and Gold Wrap. We've already got Gold Wrap in the cube, but Thunder Gods is new. Everything else will get salvaged up. And I think that's probably going to be a good point for us to finish this episode off. Once again, apologies for the missed episode. I know it can be frustrating when you don't get to see how things develop, but as you can see, we've done the big step today, and that's really going to be changing how we end up playing going forwards. If you are liking these videos, be sure to give a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, then you should do so, and you'll be told when the next episode goes live. Otherwise, I'll see you next time for some more Diablo 3. See you soon.